would start this video a little bit different. It's gray and dreary. It's Monday, and I'm sitting in my office in a sweatshirt with a cup of coffee. One, because I have to have my air conditioner on, at least on fan when I'm running my laser, just to keep the air going. And so I got cold. At least I got cold last week. So with it gray and dreary again today, which I'm not complaining about the rain we need. I thought, yeah, let's put on a sweatshirt. But yeah, welcome to the video. Let's see what I get up to. First, I thought I would show you, yeah, my empty chair. No, I cleaned up my studio. Well, straightened it up for me. I went ahead and put my stickers back out over here because I need to do some content. So hopefully I can get enough light to film some content about my stickers, and then everything's cleaned up around the laser, and then this section here is a lot of my product as well that I need to do content for, so I stuck it there. I went ahead, basically unpacked from my event. And then yeah, even my work desk, sorry, my tripod is showing. Even my work desk got a cleaning. Those are all of the sticky note holders with pin. There's 6 of them. I had to make some more of. These are one of my most popular sellers when I do in-person events. Well, not this one. This is my newest design I did. But I've sold probably 10 of this design in the past couple of weeks, and about 10 of this one. So I have one more of these left, so I only made 2. I probably need to make more of these. And then I decided I was going to make a new design. Okay, what I do is I stain. Okay, this is how they're cut. They're cut like this. They're cut where the design, this side is showing when they're cut, so I can put my branding on it. So I stain the one side of the board before it's cut. Go ahead and stain a few so I can get them cut, have them in the machine. And then after they're cut, I don't stain the back of this because it's not going to be seen. I stain this side. So I stain the reverse of just the bottom piece. And so that's what happens with those. And how I make my stain is I make it with rubbing alcohol and acrylic ink. Not acrylic ink, acrylic paint. Like I do a mix of black, gray, brown, just a few different colors to get this stain. It looks a lot darker than it is when it goes on the wood. If you can see that paint in the bottom. So basically when I go to paint it, I'll just stir this up because that's all rubbing alcohol. And sometimes I top off the alcohol, but don't add any more paint, especially if it gets pretty thick in paint in the bottom. But that's what I use. Just use a plain brush. And as I said, I paint one whole board on the front before I cut. But today I'm working on a custom sign for a birth announcement. So the baby will be born in the next few weeks. And so yeah, that's what I'm working on. But I'll show you that in a minute. I have it doing 2 passes, even though it looks like it probably only needs 1. But this is a new board, and every board is different. And so first time on a board, I do it in 2 passes just to double check. But yeah, so this is what it is. The score lines for the top name are actually going to be a 3-dimensional piece that will be cut in a few minutes. And then yeah, new product, plus gives me something to add as a gift for all the baby showers that I've got coming up. All right, it's Tuesday morning and it's fairly early, and I didn't film this last night because it was a little dark in here. So these are what I got done yesterday. I did cut them out, painted the name, and glued them on. So this is the the one that can sit on an easel. And then this is for footprints. And then this is just for photography. These are just the samples that I've made, and I accidentally cut the wrong size for the name here, and so I had to recut it. But I didn't really film much yesterday because after I cut these, I left to run errands and ended up being gone most of the day. So yeah, pretty much all day until I came back, and like I said, it was almost 5 o'clock when I got back. And so I just had to recut this one. And then I painted them and I glued them on. And I did come up with an idea. I got these at Dollar Tree. So I put my Gorilla wood glue in this. It has a fine tip. And it was so much easier just to put little dots on the back of the lettering. So yeah, get you some of these little bottles and put your wood glue in them. It works great for little thin projects. And now I have an idea in my head. I did photograph my Christmas ornaments on this little bitty tiny little Christmas tree. I was going to use the real tree that's in my front yard, but it was raining yesterday, so I just used this. But yeah, got that done. And now I have to glue these all together, which I'll probably do that today. And then I've got all my sticky notes here to put in them. I was going to go out and get some more ink joy pens, and I forgot. So these are the colors that are going with this set. So I have the ones with the cap as well as the clicker. I bought a whole bunch of ink joys, and that's what these are, so I have a couple left with the caps, and then a few of the clickers. So I should be able to make all of these today. So we'll see. Okay, it's Wednesday. I didn't film that much yesterday. Sometimes, when you get so busy in a project, you forget to film. Well, that's what happened. So today, I actually designed these pretty early this morning. I had an idea. I wanted to make some new magnetic bookmarks, but I didn't want to have to order sublimation products just because I didn't want to have to wait. I have the magnets, These I've already tested them. They work great for a book page, and they hold well but don't rip. Okay, so what it is, these are 1/4 inch little magnet squares, and they're adhesive on one side. I was actually going to buy a pack of these, just the 1/4 inch magnets, at Hobby Lobby, and 24 1/4 inch magnets was going to cost me $2.99. Well, I saw this. Let me pull it out. This is the business card size magnets right here. It is the 2 by 3.5 inch business cards magnets. Well, it's 10 pieces, and so I was like, I can cut these up. I just used my little Cricut cutter here and cut them up, and I got 28 out of one business card magnet. So for $1.99 for 10, that means I can get 280 of these. I think I'm pretty happy. Didn't take me but about 2 or 3 minutes to cut them, and that's a lot. That's a humongous savings. Normally I'm like, oh, let's go ahead and buy them already pre-cut, because time is money. But when there's that big of a difference, 24 for $2.49 or 280 for $1.99 plus maybe 10 minutes of time, I'll do the extra 10 minutes. So, but I'm fixing to laminate these. I'm going to laminate these with my Avery self-adhesive laminating sheets, and then I'm going to cut them out and put the magnets on them. And yeah, well, I'm going to corner round them too, because I want them to be rounded. But yeah, I thought that would be pretty cool. So I did 4 different designs. I did the read a good book and take time to rest, and then buy yourself flowers and practice gratitude daily. What I'm going to do some of the other designs, but these are the ones I was just going to try them out, see how they work. Hopefully they'll work well, and if they do work well, I'll be making more of these. This is 300 GSM cardstock, so it's super thick. I printed them, and I am going to laminate them, and since they're straight, I'm just going to cut them with my my Cricut cutter. So yeah, let's see how this goes. I do need to change out the blade. I do have another blade somewhere in one of my little boxes on my desk, and I'm going to change out that blade on it before I start cutting. Yeah, see you soon. Okay, it's Friday. Got everything packed up. Did not feel like filming, packing it all up. But what I was going to say was, I designed and made this box yesterday. So I realized that it makes it a little bit hard to get anything in and out with this small of a piece. So I reconfigured it and made a larger hole for the box, because it's a slide box. And so I'm making another one, but it takes about 45 minutes to cut one. It uses one 12 by 12 sheet of plywood, and pretty much all of it, to get this, to cut this. I engraved my logo on the bottom, and this is how it'll look once it goes into, so it'll still be fairly, you know, you'll still be able to see it. That's the difference. So I have to stain it. I use the same stain that I've used for all of my pieces. And if you want to see that, the previous video, my best market of 2025 video, it leads up, it shows how this worked, how I made the stain. And so basically it's rubbing alcohol and paint. But yeah, the whole instructions on how to make the stain are in that video. So go back and watch that one. But I'm going to stain all one side and let it sit. I'm not really wiping this off because I want to have some variation in the stain. So where it's thick, it will sit on there a little more. So yeah, I'm just gonna stain it. I'll stain both sides, and then once they're completely dry, I'll put it together. I'm still using, which I think I showed in this video or last video. I filmed so much, I just can't remember. But this is I filled this with the Gorilla Wood Glue. This little top is, little tip here is perfect. But yeah, so I'm just gonna stain this, and I'll come back and show you how I put it together. All right, everything's stained on this side, and now it has to dry. It doesn't take long to dry it because it is rubbing alcohol. I'm not watering the paint down. So the rubbing alcohol will dry, and it'll dry fairly quickly. It also changes, if you see how this color is compared to this color. I was picking up as well on camera, but it gives more of a very, like an antiqued, really rustic color, and I really like that. So we'll come back and make it in a little bit. All right, I'm painting the back, but I wanted to show you this. This is the only reason. I'm not gonna make you watch the whole of it. If you look, the two different colors, like a different color on wood that is on the back, is the reason I choose. There's always a nicer side. This is more yellow. The other side is more like, I don't know, it's just different. It's a little bit darker. So, and a slight like redwood look. So this one, it stains really, really differently. So that's why I always try to make sure I choose the side that I really want to show. This one, the back does not take the stain the same way. So it does look a little bit different when you put them side by side. So you can tell even after staining which side is the correct side. The basically the front of it. Yep. All right, I have something cutting, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this together. This time I'm gonna try to make sure that the logo is facing the correct way. Even though there's not really a correct way, it's just, you know. So now I'm trying to make sure that all of the pieces, these are the side pieces. There are two pieces that they're exact same height. And they're going to be the side pieces. And then there is a front piece that is shorter than this back piece. Sorry, I stepped on my thing, on my tripod. But, so basically it's going to be like this. The boxes take a little bit of finessing to get them put together. I tried to make sure I dry fit them first, make sure that everything fits perfectly before I start gluing, just because I don't want to have something that doesn't fit and need to recut a piece or something. But there we go. So there's my dry fit on this so far. And then this goes, flip it over. Now these two pieces, like what I was saying, go inside to hold the lid up when it goes in. So these get glued to the sides, basically. Okay, there we go. You see what I'm saying? These get glued to the sides, and I do glue them the right side out. And then these support the lid. All right, so I'm gonna glue these. I probably will not be able to film this because it is taking me a lot longer because I do have to have all my hands, and sometimes I get really slow and overthink it when I'm filming. So yeah, I'm just gonna film it. I mean, I'm not gonna film it. This is the little glue nozzle. I will film this part right here. I'm just gonna show you. I put the glue along the edge here, and then I put a little bit of glue right here. And that's all it is. So by laying it out like this, I can make sure that I get my glue exactly where I need it. Let's move this one off. I don't glue the side pieces on until after I have everything together, for the simple fact is that there is a difference between the bottom, the thickness of the bottom piece, and so I want to make sure that, but yeah, I'm going to put it together. All right, I have some rubber bands holding it together so I can actually start working on the rest, which is gluing in the side pieces and gluing on the top piece, because I have to put the side pieces in before I can glue on the top piece. And the top piece takes a little bit of finesse, so at least on the first one. So, because it should fit perfectly in here. Yeah, I can't do it one-handed. All right, it's together, and I'm gonna let it dry, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I probably should have put a little more glue in there, which I might take it off. This market has been super slow, and it is windy and cold. I've lost a display because it shattered when the wind picked it up and threw it. But yeah, so everything looks a little flat today because I can't really put much up. The magnetic bookmarks have blown over twice. Have weighted them down in the back. The business card holder has blown over, so it's weighted down now. Most of my price tags have blown at some point, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, good morning. It's Monday morning. It's 7:33, and it is cold in my office. I wish I had brought my little blanket because I was going to sit in my little chair over here and do some work, but I thought I would do a market recap really quick. I didn't film much. In that last little clip, you can hear me talk about the wind. That was the worst market I have ever had. Ever. One, it was so windy that my product was blowing everywhere. I literally felt like I was chasing stickers. I had to take displays down because the wind kept blowing them over. I couldn't put my art prints out. I couldn't put my note cards out because within 5 minutes of putting everything out, half of it was on the ground. Which means I've got to go back through a lot of product and double check and make sure nothing was broken, which I did have a sign broken because it blew off a sign off my display, my hanging display, and broke one of my Christmas signs because the wind was gusting about 20 something miles an hour. And so I didn't even make my booth fee back. And even though the market's a fairly reasonable booth fee, still, I didn't even make my booth fee. If it's reasonable, that means I didn't make nothing. Yeah, because I bought a hot chocolate, and I bought a cute little thing from one of the potters. I love pottery, and I have a thing about buying little pots when I'm at markets, so, or little trays or little trinket things, because I just love pottery. But yeah, so the market recap was, it was just super windy. I'd forgotten things. I got there and realized I had forgotten my magnets, my weights, and my tape, which if I don't have tape, my little price sticker, price tags things will fly off. Well, even with tape, it didn't help. They were still flying off. I had one of my, a vendor from 3 or 4 booths down. Is this yours? Yeah, things had blown. So my husband brought my tape, my weights, and my magnets. And yeah, it just wasn't good. I may take a break this week, because I have a big one coming up on the 25th. And so I may take a break this week to regroup, whatever, and figure out what I'm gonna do. I don't know. I do have my shop update that I'm working on. Hopefully it will be live before this video, so it should be live. It's supposed to be live today. So I have a shop update, and which is all the Christmas products that you've seen me make over the past couple of vlogs, the book holders, what else? Oh, the new magnetic bookmarks that you saw in this vlog will be on there. The baby signs, the custom baby signs, they will be on there. And I'm trying to think what else will be on there. I have a few more things that I've got already in the back end, just ready to go live. One is going to be the custom order states keychains, like the Georgia keychain that I have designed almost all this. Well, actually I've finished all the states. I have not shown it because I did a quick way of doing it. I thought it would be boring. I created one whole big doodled mandala style floral background, like this one big line art, and I overlaid all of the state line shapes with and then basically just deleted it around it. Yeah, it's a long process. It sounds like a long process, but it actually made it so much easier that I did not have to redraw the inside doodles for every state. I just changed up the way they fit inside that state. So that was really fun. But I did that over a weekend sitting in my bed. So yeah, that didn't get filmed at all. But yeah, so the shop update should be live. And so yeah, if you like this video, please hit that like button, hit subscribe. I would love to know which product you think is your favorite, and let me know, and I will see you next time. Bye.